Hey, this is Corey from Wolfpack Woodcraft, and today we're going to be taking a look at Jase Medical. What Jase Medical is a website, which I will leave an affiliate link to down below, where you can pick up 5 different antibiotics that will be prescribed to you personally by a real physician. And because they're being prescribed to you by a real physician, it means that they are 100% legal for you to have. They're 100% legal for you to store, to travel with, to take with you no matter where you go. Anything you can do with your standard prescriptions, you can do with the antibiotics provided to you through Jase Medical. And I think that that is an amazing thing. One of the holes in a lot of people that are self-reliant and preparedness community, antibiotics are super important, and there's really no other way of getting a hold of them. And so Jase Medical provides you with 5 different antibiotics that change. They have a list of 9, and depending on if you're male or female or your allergies or your medical history, you might get a different set of 5 than I have here, but you will get 5 different antibiotics that will suit you the best for emergency use only. So what are those emergency uses? Well, let's say that there is a natural disaster or a pandemic or something that takes place where the hospitals are just packed full and you can't get to see a doctor, and because you can't see a doctor, they can't prescribe you a medication, and so you can't get the antibiotics you need because you can't get that prescription. On the flip side, let's say that you do go to the doctor, you do get prescribed the antibiotic, but a lot of antibiotics are shipped from overseas. And so if there was a shipping crisis, if there were shortages, and you went to the pharmacy and they didn't have the antibiotics that you needed, you're kind of out of luck. Well, if you have some in your medicine cabinet that you have stored in case of an emergency, you can still get better. You have what you need at home, so you're not relying on the doctor's office, you're not relying on the pharmacy. You have what you need in the comfort of your own home, and I think that that is just amazing. I'm really happy with what Jase Medical is doing. I'm really happy with what they provided me today. And so what they do provide is this storage case, which I'm a big fan of, and then inside the case you will receive 5 different antibiotics. Again, yours are going to differ from mine. I'm not going to pull these out because they are prescribed to me. It's my prescription. It has my personal information on it, so I'm not going to pull them out and show them to you, but just know that your 5 may differ from mine because of, again, your medical history is completely different than mine, so you might have different ones, but they do give you 5 different antibiotics that can treat 5 different things. And the other thing that I like about this case is here I have ibuprofen, but if you have a prescription medication that you take on a regular basis, or if you're traveling and you want to take ibuprofen or something with you, it fits in here very easily. And so everything I need is in this one. I could even put band-aids and a whole first aid kit in here if I really wanted to, but everything I need is in this one case. And so if I was going to go travel overseas or travel to an apartment or a hotel, to stay at a friend's apartment, stay in a hotel, I can still carry this with me. The last thing is the emergency antibiotic guide. Now, there were 2 questions that I had before I agreed to make this video, so they sent me this to make a video on. Number 1 is, what is the shelf life? Because if the shelf life is 6 months and I have to keep replacing this every 6 months, that's going to get extremely expensive. And when they emailed me back, they said that you can expect to get 2 to 3 years out of these antibiotics, and if you properly store them, they can last up to 20 years. Okay, and so that's, you got to learn how to properly store these if you want to get the most out of them. And then the second question I had is, when I go to the doctor and they give me a prescription, the prescription tells me to take 2 a day for 5 days. It tells me to take 1 a day for 30 days, but I have no way of knowing if I actually need these antibiotics in the first place. Is there something that you provide that tells me that I actually need these without seeing a doctor? And that's where this guide comes in. This guide has, 1, it's going to show you the 9 different antibiotics that Jase Medical provides. Again, you are only going to get 5 out of those 9, so make sure you pay attention to that. And then the context is by medication, and so you can look and see the medications and what all they treat. And so for me personally, what I plan to do is when I make these videos, I always show everything as is. I don't modify anything, I don't change anything, I keep it as is. As soon as I'm done filming today, I'm going to go through with a highlighter and I'm going to highlight the 5 antibiotics that I have in this case. And then also, the next contents is on the condition. So like bites. If you have a bite and it's getting infected, you might want to take amoxicillin or one of the other ones that I can't pronounce. And so again, I'm going to highlight under each condition, I'm going to highlight the medications that I have in this case so I can easily see and easily find what it is I'm looking for, and I don't have to read every single one. I can just go, okay, bite, that's the one I have, go get it, right? The other thing is the prescription. It tells you exactly what the medication is. It gives you a caution. Again, this is going to be prescribed to you by a real physician, and that physician is going to say this medication is safe for you, but it's at that moment, it's at that time. And so if you have it, again, if you're storing it properly and it's a couple years down the line, you still want to make sure that it's safe for you even if conditions change. One of the conditions, which is right on here, is pregnancy or breastfeeding. If one of those conditions presents itself, you're going to want to read this to make sure that it's still safe to consume. Then when you turn the page, it shows you like bite wounds, pneumonia. It tells you what that antibiotic is good for and how to tell if you actually need it. And then if you do actually need it, there's a little gray box that gives you the standard information, like take 1 tablet by mouth twice per day to prevent infection, continue for 3 to 5 days. Same with down here, take 2 tablets by mouth day 1, 1 tablet on day 2 through 5. And so it gives you when and how to take the medication. The other thing that I really like is, so like amoxicillin, a lot of these are 2 to 5 days, 3 to 5 days, 6 days, and so you would probably only need 10 pills to 12 pills per treatment. But some of these, like if this gets really severe, you have to take it for 14 days. Or if you end up with this again is 14 days, meaning the most you will need is 28. So the prescription is for 28. Okay, so in worst case scenario, you have a full dose to get through whatever it is you need to get through. But realistically, since you only need it for about 5 days, you might have 2, maybe even 3 treatments in here, depending on what it is that you have. And so I really like that they give you the maximum amount that you may need. And so no matter what happens, you have the ability to treat whatever it is that happens to you. The appendixes on the back are extremely helpful. So here you have the pregnancy risk. It's going to, in the prescription information, it's going to give you an A through D, and then you have to read what that means in the appendix. Appendix B is about the expiration dates and storage. So this is what's going to show you how to actually store the medication to get the most out of it. Okay, so this is for storage use. This is for emergency use only. This isn't something that you're going to be taking regularly. This isn't something you're going to be taking while you still have access to the doctor and the pharmacy. This is something that you're going to store, so you want to make sure that you're storing it correctly so that it's still available when you need it. Appendix C is disposal. Now this is a real prescription. This is prescribed to you personally. And so if you don't want it anymore, you can't just give it to somebody else, because they're going to be in possession of a prescription that isn't theirs, and they can get in a lot of trouble. And so if you want to dispose of this, if you want to get rid of it, if you're not interested in it anymore, you need to make sure that you're disposing of it correctly, because it is a 100% legal prescription and you need to treat it like that. And then in the back, in the very back cover, there's a spot for notes. And again, what I plan to do is go online, go into my medical books, look up my 5 antibiotics that I received. And if there's any information that I think is important or something that I don't want to forget, I'm going to put it in this note section so that no matter what were to happen, put my ibuprofen back in here, I can take this case and it has all that I need inside of it. If I need an antibiotic, I can grab this case. If I need information on the antibiotics, it's in this case. I don't have to worry about forgetting one of the bottles. I don't have to forget about some of the information and then have to worry about that. I can just grab this and know that I have everything I need, and I really think that this is an awesome little kit. Again, I will leave an affiliate link in the description box down below. Even if you don't buy it, even just looking into it and seeing what it's about, I think is a really good idea. And so thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you on my next video.